Hello YouTube, hello everyone. This is Johnny Tai, otherwise known as Big Manfo on YouTube. A bit of history about that name. I had to get a friend of mine to make my YouTube account for me, and not quite sure why he came up with that name, but ever since then I got stuck with it. Today I'm doing my first ever knife review on the Kabar Zombie Killer Pestilence Machete Chopper. Quite a long name. Uh, it's my first ever review, and I must mention that I am totally blind, so uh, this is going to be my excuse for any defects in my videos. So if you find that there's anything I can improve, like where I stand and how I have the lighting and the angle of the items, things like that, please let me know, because I cannot tell what I should improve by looking at the video myself since I can't see it. Um, so, why is a totally blind guy talking about knives and weapons and martial arts? We are not going to answer that today. We're not going to get into that today. And why is a blind guy interested in filming himself, reviewing something? Yeah, well, we are not going to get into that either. We're here for one purpose only: to review the knife. And here it is. Kabar Zombie Killer Pestilence Chopper. It's in its sheath, which is made out of nylon. Not my personal favorite. I prefer leather or Kadura. But it is a very sturdy sheath, and it's about 18 inches long and 4 inches wide, so it's quite bulky. If you are a shorter person, or like myself, I'm only 5'9", you'll find that if you wear this on your belt, the knife will go down to your knee. So it's not a best fit. So what I did is I took the shoestrings that come with the knife, I rigged it up in the back, and now I can carry this across my chest with the hilt down. It's very comfortable and provide me quick access to the knife and to the utilities. So this is one wearing option that I would recommend. However, you can probably see that in the front of the sheath is a little pouch, a drawstring pouch, where you can store your survival gear. It is quite deep. The pouch is probably 8 to 10 inches deep and wide enough so I can actually fit my hand into it. See? Quite neat, eh? So, I would imagine you can carry a small bottle of water and other survival goodies like trail mix and first aid kit in that pouch. So, the problem is, if I have the knife hanging upside down across my chest, like this, the pouch is facing downward, which means whatever I put in the pouch will fall out. So, if your plan is to store something in a pouch, probably don't wear it this way. For some people, you'll notice that if you just wear it like this, it's going to bounce around a little bit if you're running or jogging. So it's not comfortable. So what you can do is you take the belt loop at the hilt end here, there's a big belt loop. And if you wear a belt, I always wear a utility belt, so you put your belt through the belt loop while wearing your knife upside down. And this will actually prevent the knife from bouncing or going anywhere. And you can you can be in the middle of a fight. You can be fighting for your life, and the knife will stay put like this. And now it's secured to my belt, and it's not going to bounce that much when I jog or whatever. So this is a good option. But again, if you are a taller person, like if your body is longer, then this might not be that comfortable. So how you wear this, it all depends on your build and what kind of activities you're going to get into. So now let's talk about the knife itself. As you can see, it's secured to the sheath with two snap buttons. You unsnap them, out it comes. Here we are. Kabar Zombie Killer Pestilence Chopper. I'm just going to call it chopper from now on. As you can see, it has a green handle. And please, no joke about why does a blind guy know it's a green handle. I don't want to hear about it. I just know, okay? It comes with a green handle. The blade itself is 10 inches of high carbon steel of badass, bad attitude. It's a machete style blade, which means it doesn't have a forward point. Has a really thick back. And the blade is almost 2 inches at the widest point. The handle is 2 pieces of glass-filled nylon scales bolted onto the full tang with a linear hole at the tail end. And it has a notch in the center, bottom center of the hilt. So you can place your finger around it according to what size hand you have. And there's a bit of jipping on the thumb ramp, which is nice. You can rest your thumb there, like this. Depend on the size of your hand, this might not be a very good knife for you. The handle is quite thick. It worked for my hand, but if my hands were a little bit smaller, it will be very uncomfortable. So it all depends on your body type and what you're going to use it for, of course. Now, since it's high carbon steel, you will have to oil it regularly. It has a black coating on it, but it will wear off with use. And if you have smaller hands, this hilt is actually long enough for a two-handed grip. For my hand, it's a little bit too short for that, but for a smaller person, a two-handed grip, it will work for this. Is this a good fighting knife or self-defense knife? Well, not really. It's very big, so it's not the kind of knife you're going to carry it with you. Someone asked me last night, do I carry this to work? And I was like, heck. Sorry about that. The battery died and had to recharge the phone and have a coffee break. So now we're back. So where did we leave off? The Kabar chopper. Is it a good defense weapon or fighting knife? I would have to say probably not. It's quite large, and just last night a friend asked if I carry this with me when I go out, and I have to say no, because I don't really need something this size at work or in my day-to-day life. Not to mention, if you go around carrying something like this, you can be stopped by the police and questioned and maybe have it confiscated. unless you're camping or something. Um, and since it's a machete style blade, it doesn't have a forward thrusting point, which means unless you're proficient at a martial art from India or Singapore or Malaysia or Philippines, one of those places that actually teach you how to fight using a machete-like blade, you wouldn't be very good at it. That said, this does have tremendous hacking power, like a machete, and it's shorter than a machete, so you get the flexibility and speed of a knife, which is quite good. If you ever did get attacked by a zombie, I imagine you can easily swipe off a head with this at one swing. But against a moving, fighting target, unless you are good with it, I would really not recommend it as a fighting tool. Um, now, you can see this has a green handle, and if you don't like the green handle, the Kabar zombie chopper comes with a spare set of scales and screws and bolts that you can replace the handle with a black version. Here it is, the spare parts, two scales and screws in there. You can easily replace the green handle with a black one. But I imagine if you bought a zombie killer knife to begin with, you probably wouldn't mind the green so much. So that's it for the big one, but not all. The zombie killer knives all come with a backup blade. I don't know if you can see it, there's a bit of metal sticking out of the sheath here. So all I have to do is grab it with my finger, and out comes the little one. This is a Kabar Accurate skeleton knife. It's 6 inches, all one piece of stainless steel with a 3-inch blade. It's light and flat and not very easy to hold according to some people. I find the best way to hold it is to stick your forefinger through the skeletonized handle like this, and then wrap the rest of your hand around it. Rest your thumb on the thumb ring, which has a bit of jigging. Now this is a very secure hold. I can thrust, I can slash, I can chop and dice, I can pare fruit with this. This is not going anywhere with this hold. Not the most comfortable thing to hold because the handle is just part of the knife. It's all one piece. So it's metal and it's very harsh on the skin. But I like it. This little Accurate have had a lot of bad reviews, but personally I like it because it's so small and so easy to carry. It's flat enough to fit into your wallet. It's flat enough to fit in your boots or be worn as a neck knife. So it's a great little backup knife. Also, some people have expressed that it's hard to sharpen. Again, I didn't find that to be the case. I ran it through my Machete knife sharpener like 5 times, and now it's sharp enough that you can shave with it. So, a nice little bonus. I got this whole set from thinkgeek.com. They got the zombie killer knife on sale right now for $39. The original price is about $69 or something like that. So for $39, you get a big knife and a small knife and a very utility-driven sheath. So I think it's a great deal. Oh, and of course it comes with a shoestring that I use to rig up the whole thing. Um, so, all in all, it's a very deserving purchase, and this knife will bring you enjoyment for many, many more years to come. You can take it camping, you can take it hiking. It will perform almost any duty you want it to, other than make you a sandwich, of course. Um, and I don't really foresee this breaking. I mean, unless you do something really crazy, like drive a car over it. But if you just chop wood with it, or uh, clear brush, this knife is totally up to the challenge. Um, there are very professional cutting tests done on this knife by other users on YouTube. Just search for Kabar, that's Kabar, uh, chopper, and zombie killer, Kabar zombie killer chopper, or Kabar ZK chopper, as a lot of people know it by. Then you will find some really good cutting tips. But today we are going to um, do a small cutting test here at home and match it against two other blades, and just to give you an idea of how well this can really perform. So stay tuned. I'll set us up for the cutting test. This is what we are going to be cutting. Bundles of chopsticks on top of a cardboard box. I love Japanese food. They taste good, and the one near my place, they even deliver a lot of free chopsticks when I order delivery. And I save these things for cutting tests. You're not going to be able to see my face too much, I think, during the test, because I'm going to be holding the phone in one hand while I do the cutting. But you're not here to look at my face anyway. So yeah, let's proceed. I'll give you a view of our three contestants today. This is contestant number one. It's a Dragon Chris dagger, Spanish made, I believe, and it was around $300 price point when I bought it. Contestant number two, it's a Spartan's, a replica 300 Spartan movie sword. This one was around $30. Quite a large weapon, and it is sharpened. And I know it's not a fair comparison due to its size, but I just want to give you an idea of the strengths and weaknesses of how the K-bar chopper would match up against even something this big. Contestant number three, K-bar zombie killer chopper. Okay, this is the first cut with the Dragon Chris dagger. As you can see, the dagger cut quite deeply into the cardboard box, but fails to break the bundle of chopsticks. Here is contestant number two with a Spartan sword. So, the Spartan sword barely dented the box and didn't do anything to the chopsticks. So now the final contestant, the K-bar zombie chopper. Look at this.